This is a part of a special reaction. Augusti, Dear My Friend. And I wanted to watch the concert reaction that was on Suchvita. Performance where I saw Suga crying. Even seeing that small scene that made me want to tear up. Like you can see the face here that he was making. And I want to see the concert reaction, the fan cam footage, and the footage, the real concert footage where he's singing this. And the important background for this is that, this song paints the story of Yoongi's friend from his hometown who once dreamt big with Yoongi, but suddenly losing contact, and Yoongi finding out from the friend's parents that he was detained for taking drugs. It is also the same friend which Spring Day refers to. Later, Suga would quote lyrics from Spring Day on Dear My Friend, part of his May 2020, implying that two songs were about the same friend. According to him, the friend was a friend he held very dearly, but a number of things happened between them and they drifted apart and could not meet again. At one point, when longing got to be too much, he even reached out acquaintances to reconnect with the friend. Unfortunately, there would be no reunion. When I was going through a hard time, that friend was the only one I could lean on. When I was a trainee, we would talk together. Hey, you think I can really debut? And break into sobs, then make a resolution together. Let's conquer the world. Oh my gosh, even just reading this, but now I wonder what that friend is doing. That's why I resented them. Suga had suffered a great deal before Spring Day, but that suffering was that what has gotten him so far. Unfortunately, his old friend was no longer at his side. For him, Spring Day was a way to come to terms with emotions that continued to burn inside his heart after all these years. Resulting, the track became a source of comfort to him. Even back then, I didn't remember the last time I was uplifted by listening to music. It had been a really long time. So at the time, I didn't know. I do know now, though. Wow. Just reading this. I think we all have that friend we share our dreams to. And I think Suga probably reached that point where he became successful. He, wants to show appreciation towards the friends that helped him when he was suffering, but now he cannot have reunion. And oh my gosh, this is gonna be so crazy to listen to. With that context ahead, I feel like just reading that made me wanna bit emotional. I want to listen to the song first, and then I'm gonna listen to the concert footage and the fan cam footage. Okay. I don't think I've heard this one though. Oh, even the piano is like this. Oh, it starts like this. Wow. Knowing the context we just read, right? I feel reminiscent days that went back and Dear My Friend, how are you doing? Let's be honest, I still hate you so much. These lyrics, Suga wants to reconnect with the friend. I don't know what happened to the friend. Hopefully he's okay, but I don't know, maybe the friend still loves Suga so much, and this is just my imagination. Maybe he's in a really bad state and he doesn't want to show that side to Suga. And Suga really wants to help the friend, but perhaps he really respects and loves Suga at this stage, and perhaps he feels like he's ripping off his friend's success and try to reconnect with the friend when he's successful like Suga, and he feels like he might be a burden. Perhaps that's how that friend is feeling. I don't know, but these lyrics with the context that I've just read.
Dear my friend, 나 솔직히 말할게. 난 네가 존나게 미워 아직도. 여전히 기억해 함께였었던 지난 날. 내그로 함께 놀러 갔었던 우리 시간과 수많은 날들이면 세상도 무섭지 않아 말았던 우린 지금 전혀 딴 길을 걷지 Damn 그때 기억나 아마 신사였나 둘이서 소주를 기울이며 나눴던 우리
These are the moments that you appreciate the most because like I fucking had friends like that too. Like I'm pretty sure you had, especially if you guys moved. Like I moved from country to country, from state to state before, and I've had those friends that I no longer talk to. I have friends who went to the military that I do not reconnect with. I see them pictures, maybe they have families and friends. I just don't reconnect with them. And I remember my memories, like first time drinking beer with my friends when I was in Washington, like I would fucking sneak beers out from my parents, and I would full of backpack, and I would like have the freaking beer glasses singling in my backpack, try to sneak out of my place at like 12 a.m. with my bicycle, And I had those friends, and just when I listen to this song, it reminds me of my old days. I'm also thinking back to the friends that I shared such a good memories with, but I just don't talk to them anymore.
씹어먹을 거라던 우리 둘의 포부원대한 꿈을 품었었던 우린 어렸었지 꼴랑 나의 숨을
Oh my God.
갑작스러웠었던 연락 두줄 한참이 지난 뒤 모르는 번호로 왔었던 너의 부모님의 그 짧은 전화 한 통에 곧바로 달려가 박수 서구 주소 안양은 너머로 아직도 여전히 네가 난 그립고 또 그립네 아직도 여전히 함께한 추억이 날 맴도네 어쩌면 그때를 잡았다면 아니 그때 너를 막았다면 아직도 여전히 우리는 아직도 친구일까 어땠을까 네가 변한 건지 아님
I want to make this even louder. Also, when Suga talked about how we talk about our aspirations and dreams, when you're a teenager, you feel like you could conquer the world. In Suga's scenario, he did conquer the world almost. But for most of us, we never got to reach the dreams that we had when we were teenagers. It felt like world was like within our reach. It felt like nothing was impossible. Nothing was impossible. And as you get into the real world, you do slowly realize, no, it's not as easy as I imagined. And first time drinking and talking to your friends about dreams and goals, it just... Hey, if you want to watch full uncut reactions, click the link in the description for Patreon. Sometimes I have to edit the video a little bit, like I'll add a black screen or I'll change the audio a little bit. So if you want to watch full uncut, unedited video, click the link in the description for Patreon. Plus, you get added benefits like exclusive song reactions. Sometimes I'll react to albums, I'll react to concerts and eliminate 1 or 2 songs, which will be exclusive on Patreon. It hits, man.
번호로 왔었던 너의 부모님의 그 짧은 전화 한 통에 곧바로 달려가 박수 서구 주소 안양은 너머로 아직도 여전히 네가 난 그립고 또 그립네 아직도 여전히 함께한 추억이 날 맴도네 어쩌면 그때를 잡았다면 아니 그때 너를 막았다
Maybe I caught you then. No, if I had stopped you then, the contest of the friend using the drug. I'm sorry I'm pausing so much, but this song is making me emotional because I think Suga also blames himself a bit too. Like, I hear people like on interviews when a friend hurts themselves, even when they go to like suicidal states. Perhaps some of them even committed, hindered themselves. And most people, like best friends, they blame themselves. They think to themselves like, oh, maybe I should have done this. I could have done this, something like that. And I think Suga also blames himself too from the song.
네가 변한 건지 아님 내가 변한 건지 흐르는 시간조차 미워 우리가 변한 거지 뭐 야 네가 밉다 야 네가 싫다 야 이 말
Wow. This song, this lyrics, it is so fucking emotional.
하는 이 순간조차 난 네가 그립다 매주 갔었던 서울고치 소면의 왕새 시간쯤 됐었던 먼 길을 혼자서 나섰지 너의 재판 날과 너의 출소 날 눈이 펑펑 얼어겨 힘들고 똑똑히 기억나 그리고 간만에 본 넌 전화 딴 사람이 돼버렸고 눈이 풀린 돌릴 방법은 없고 너는 괴물이 돼버렸네. 내가 알던 넌 없고 널 알던 난 없어. 우리가 변한 건 비단 시간 때문이 아닌 걸 난 알아. 네가 알았던 난 없고 내가 알았던 넌 없어. 우리가 변한 건 비단 시간 때문이 아닌 걸 넌 없어.
We also didn't know what the friend went through, you know, during the prison times. People changed the song, man. Maybe I can't do good, though. Let's stop too good, yeah? Now I'm thinking back to like how Suga cried when he was on stage, man, and when I see that, like that's gonna hit me so like deep down. This is gonna sound so crazy on stage. Can you imagine what Youngie's feeling though? Feels like, you know, Yogi's just like, he's screaming from the inside, you know? Oh my god. The sad piano, crazy drums, the vocals in the background, like him screaming. Wow. Okay, I'm not ready to watch the concert now. Oh. Okay. Whew. Should I watch this first? Okay.
제가 이 다음 곡을 제대로 할 수 있을지 잘 모르겠네요. 여러분들의 목소리가 필요합니다. 가볼까요?
Do you think the friend has watched this? He heard the song, probably, yeah? Do you think he watched this concert? And I think if he did, he maybe tried to reach Yoongi. Please give me an update on what happened to the friend and Yoongi. Did they talk? Did he make a public announcement? Even from the beginning. Wow. From the beginning is good. You look at the emotions that he's giving. God, like goosebumps. He's barely holding it in tears too. You could tell he is thinking about the memories too. You know he's thinking about the front now. Wow. Man. Man, that is coming from his heart, dude. Wow. That was one of my favorite performances of Suga. I want to watch the concert footage too. You know, he was rethinking the memories that he had, and I really hope the friend watched this. And can you guys give me an update on what happened to the friend too, if they reconnected together? I wonder. I want to see the boys. Did any of the boys react to this exact emotion, this exact part, this exact song? I want to look it up on YouTube, but I want to watch this one more time, especially the ending part. Remember the context, right? When Suga was going through the hardest times, he was like ask his friend, "Am I gonna make it?" And he was sobbing, and he was walking with his friend, and now he's like, he made it on stage. Like he became successful. He did it. He fucking did what he was talking about. The struggles he was going through. Even though he became this successful, his friend that was next to him when he was at the lowest moments, it's not next to him. And the reason why, I think Suga wants the friend to be next to him, but the friend is probably also going through something, and from just trying to make it logical, I think the friend is perhaps ashamed of himself, and you know, he's happy to see his friend successful, but we don't know what happened to the friend, what kind of experience he went through in the prison. We just don't know. And how could the drug also affected the friend's mentally and emotionally in his brain? We don't know. And I think because Suga knows how different of a person he became, how the drugs and perhaps all the other things affected him. I don't know. I'm purely speaking on speculation. But if I imagine it like that, the emotions that he's showing here, you know, Yoongi wants the friend to be here. And when he was at his lowest, the friend was there. But then the friend is at his lowest moments. Yoongi is thinking, I can't be next to him because he's pushing me away. And like, only thing I can do now is just like pour my emotions on the stage and I became successful. Maybe he's like crying out loud to his friend and he's singing like that. Like if I imagine it like that, how could you not cry? How can you not cry? Eh?
Hey, if you want to watch full uncut reactions, click the link in the description for Patreon. Sometimes I have to edit the video a little bit, like I'll add a black screen or I'll change the audio a little bit. So if you want to watch full uncut, unedited video, click the link in the description for Patreon. Plus, you get added benefits like exclusive song reactions. Sometimes I'll react to albums, I'll react to concerts and eliminate 1 or 2 songs, which will be exclusive on Patreon.